Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawling in. No, don't do that. Don't Vincent Price rap it.
You're not Vincent, so
That was
stop it.
hey, you gotta give a little bit of credit. That was not bad. Hello, welcome into the Halloween edition of the Power Hour. Of course, that movie's employee up there on top wasn't even supposed to be here today, but the urban sensation here. Hello, C Red.
Snoogans.
Just for the record, to those non-believers out there, if you weren't an IPW on Sunday, yeah, Red cut the promo of a lifetime. So although those people that are in denial that haven't seen it yet are failing to acknowledge it for what it was, at some point you'll see it, and at some point you'll recognize and acknowledge him. There you go. And also with the pictures, possibly doing an in spooky studio appearance tonight will be Rion Skills, the real deal. Hello, Rion.
He's in snow,
He's
man.
driving through the winter wonderland that is our state.
No, he don't give a shit. He don't give a shit. It doesn't matter.
Give a shit. Now, see, that's not fair.
Hi.
That's not fair.
Hello. I'm saying hello. I'm saying hello.
Hello.
Now I'm going to mute.
Sorry to bother you. All right. So Rion is risking his life and limb to come here tonight, but he will be rewarded with my wife's hot and delicious chili. So, is the juice worth the squeeze? I think at this case it is. So welcome to Halloween. Hello. Hope everybody's having a great Hallows Eve. Tonight, it's just us. People say, man, you have guests every week and it's great. And we enjoy having everybody on, and we enjoy putting people over and talking about their stories and their lives. And it makes us happy, but it wasn't always a guest-driven show. We have done shows where we just talk and we do our thing, kind of talk show style. I always fancied myself after David Letterman. I don't think it works for this format, but that's what I always wanted to be. So it's great to have this kind of situation where we can just kind of, what are you side-lipping me for?
David
Boy,
Letterman.
don't make me slap those lips off your face.
David Letterman.
I
need to cut a promo on you?
You better you keep messing with me, you best.
Hey, it's because of me that you have something around now. So
you're right about that. And we'll talk about all the shenanigans that happened at IPW as the night goes on. So it's Halloween. We're happy to be here. I'm Steve Poole, or Steve, as you know. And, it's Halloween Eve. Trick-or-treaters are happening despite the polar vortex that hit us tonight. Red, how was that coming home, the polar vortex?
It was what? Well, considering my car didn't start and the window was down, so I had to get the car jumped and raise the window. Couldn't drive with my window down, so but it was fine. Now the funny part is my daughter.
The funny part.
It's the fun part. It's the funny part. She did a Snapchat talking about snowing on Halloween, and I'm like, girl, you're from Chicago. Like,
it's not our first ball. It's not our first
right.
Rodeo
She was like, well, when's the last time? I don't know. But it can snow.
Oh, you want to know the last time? I'll fucking tell you the last time it snowed here. That was 2019.
Oh, okay. There you go.
My first year in the house that I'm living at right now, we brought our fire pit out in the front, and I wanted to welcome myself to the neighborhood, so we gave away full-size candy bars to the kiddies that came out and braved the snow, and I had cans of beer and little bottles of wine for the parents that braved the storm, and we had a party.
Well,
that's how we roll.
Oh, that's how you.
That's how we roll in the crib, yo.
Oh,
hey, that was one hell of a drunken night. I'll tell you that. Once the candy stopped, the alcohol started. I don't remember much after that, but it was a great night. Even though we also had hypothermia, so was the risk worth the reward? I say yes, but I don't remember all of it.
Shame.
So yes, it does snow in Chicago on trick or treat. Listen, this is my first year retired from Halloween to a certain extent. My son's 16, ain't trick or treating anymore. So he's giving away the candy, and that lasted all of 30 minutes. Now he's in his room, sequestered. Hopefully, trick or treat is ending or ended, so I don't have to deal with it. But this is the first year he didn't trick or treat. He trick or treated right up until last year. Now he's a volleyball superstar at his school. He's going out for wrestling. So he's flexing in the mirror. He's got the guns. So he want no trick or treating. So I'm retired now, but many an October night did I wander the streets in the goddamn cold and the snow doing the trick or treat thing. So to all y'all out there, trick or treating tonight, keep fanging and banging for Gangrel. What you've been retired for a minute of the trick or treat?
A long time.
You don't go out with the grandkids? Come on, you got like 85 grandkids.
No.
Now look at that. That's an interesting picture. I didn't think Russell could look, or I'm sorry, I didn't think J.R. Lindsay could look dumber than he did in that head on Sunday, but I stand corrected. He looks like a very, very strange version of Rachel from Friends.
No, he looks like a typical black woman trying to put on a wig that don't fit. So,
did you just call JR a black woman?
Yeah.
Man, that program, I'll tell you. So what do you want to talk about first, Red? I mean, maybe we'll wait for Pac-Man to start talking Halloween stuff, but I don't want to talk about IPW till he gets here because he got a chance to see all of it, and I'd be interested. I did listen to the JFW podcast this morning. They broke down IPW. They did a great job as usual. But we'll talk a little bit about that and what Pac-Man saw or what Pac-Man thought he saw. Red, that was a truly inspired promo. I've seen you cut gangsta shit before, but this was the gangsterist. You went gangster on Rion, and I was more watching Rion because you had your back to me, so I didn't see your face, but I saw Rion's face. That was some deep shit.
It wasn't gangster if it's true. A lot of everything that I said, it came from the heart. And I don't know if it's been, I've been light on bookings or everybody knows that my sabbatical date is coming up. I don't know. I still feel people need to know who the hell I am, what I bring to the table, and what I've represented for 20 years. And the bottom line is you don't mess with me and mine. And when I say mine, I mean my family, my friends, my cohorts, my compatriots. So when you mess with me and mine, it's a totally different ballgame. It goes from sport to combat real quick.
I'll say.
So and the places of all places, a VFW hall where if anybody has ever paid attention, then they probably don't. When I am watching the show, I'm sitting with the veterans, and that's for a reason, because I am a vet. So I feel like I've earned that spot. I've earned that chair, per se, because I sacrificed, and unless you've done it, then you don't understand, per se. And I mean, I'm not taking away from any veteran, but to me, when you've served during combat, it takes on a whole new, so.
And you had some fun with those vets. You were sitting right amongst them, and they were loud this particular Sunday. I mean, that was some of the funnest that was the funnest part of the show for me, was listening to their commentary, so to speak, as each match unfolded and who they liked and who they didn't like. And if they liked you, they loved you. If they didn't like you, they gave you the business all show long. In fact, at one point, I thought Yvette and one of the ladies at the VFW were going to get involved in action in the ring. That hit a point of critical mass, and there were kids everywhere. And there was a moment in time where Rion Skills, the superhero that he is, saved lives, because there were some shenanigans outside the ring, and there were some kids running around, and some kids almost got in the wrong place at the wrong time. Who's that? Is that Steel?
No,
Is that Ray?
that is Flash Harris.
That's Flash looking like young Tina Turner with a mustache.
So you have to. So let's put this picture in concept first.
Rion must not have been enjoying the conversation, so he threw a photo up there so we would shift gears. Rion's good like that. He likes to put things back on the rail.
I think since we talked about bad hair, there you go.
Sorry, my bad. Let me put it on something else.
No,
I heard the wrong cue. I heard the wrong cue. Okay. All right.
I want to hear the story.
Gotta tell the story.
Tell the story.
So about a month ago, we had picture day. So there was one gentleman, because he works in the horticulture lab. He came out with a farmer's hat, and farmer's covers, and he just had everything.
Looking like Mr. Green Jeans.
Yeah, basically. You had my counterpart. He took a bird and he sat the bird on his head. So I don't take pictures like that. Actually, I decided this year I needed professional fraternity pictures. So I wore my fraternity shirt with my fraternity chain, smiled, and got everything in the picture, and I'm good. So now, when the fraternity asks for a professional picture, here you go. I already got it done. All right, there you go. Flash Harris. Now, he says this is the second time. I don't remember last year. I have to honestly try to look it up. But he took this picture. I don't know where it came from. So, here's the funny part. We're in a staff-driven personal development day, as we call it, Friday. And my boss asked, what did we learn from the training we took that morning? And he says he has prizes for everybody that can answer the questions. So now
Red, hang on one second. Brian, trick-or-treaters.
They don't stop coming.
Damn. I'm going to be high because they can see inside this room, so they know some motherfuckers here. Go ahead.
So he asked people, questions, and they answered. Now, this whole time, I've got my hand up like I can answer these questions. And he looks at me and he smiles. And I'm like, damn, what did I do? I want a prize, So he hands out these pieces of paper. And then he tells everybody, the people that won the prize, take your prize and flip it over. This is the prize that they all received. The reason why he never responded to me is because, one, he knew I would have lost it. Two, when the pictures came in, I guess Friday morning, and he was going through them. He seen this, took a picture, and sent it to me personally. So I had already lost my shit. So, so anybody that next year or the end of the year that happens to see my school yearbook, this will be the picture that Mr. Harris will be under. So safe to say it's a very frightening picture.
But that is some first class hair. And we want to welcome to the party the one, the only Rachel, aka Cactus Rack. Oh, looking lovely this evening, young lady.
I put my face on.
Hi. Damn, I wasn't expecting all this. Hello, how are you, Rachel?
I can go scrub it off. I'm okay. Hazel just got back from trick-or-treating. You've got me for a few minutes.
We'll take what we can get. And the timing is excellent. As we were just finishing up on Flash Harris's picture from school picture day, and you're loving that hair. I have to believe you are.
It's beautiful. I love it.
We were just about to talk about the minors bout.
Oh, yeah.
From this past Saturday. And it was the Haunters and the Crushers. The Scrappers went on first, and the Brawlers went on second. Can you explain a little bit to the kids what's the difference between a Scrapper and a Brawler?
So the Scrappers are usually, I think, under about 8. They're the younger kids and the newer kids. And then the Brawlers are usually like preteen to just about 16, 17. So that's the main difference between the Brawlers and the Scrappers.
And as I was thinking about this after it was over, I was contemplating the Haunters and the Crushers and the various coaches that are involved in each team. And the Haunters coaches were Coach Sugar, Coach Siren, Coach Decadent, and Coach Punchy. And then on the Crushers, it was Coach Marley, Coach Grumpy, Coach Euro, and Coach Liz. And then, of course, Coach Beetlejuice kind of was in charge of everything.
Yes.
And I found it fascinating that the Crushers and the Haunters were doing things stylistically, in my eyes. And like I said, I've seen all of these coaches skate. There were a lot of similarities, both with the Scrappers and the Brawlers, that reminded me of their coaches.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you think about that? Do you think that's accurate? Do you think I'm just, I'm crazy?
I mean, some of them are children of the coaches, which is why you may see some of that. But I think what I thought mostly about this bout, and what some of the other people thought, is that it seems like things have started to fall into place for the skaters. So it's starting to come together. Some of the strategies they've talked about at practice, some of the drills that they've been doing, we saw get put into play. And it was a much more, I don't know if I want to say more fluid bout than the previous ones, but it just really felt like while we were watching them skate, we were watching things click into place for them.
I'll tell you what, the packs and the blocking, there were moments that reminded me of the walls that skaters like Loretta Sin and Megatron and those impenetrable walls that jammers just can't get through. And they were creating them, and it was making things hard for the jammers. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, I definitely saw a lot of that. I saw a lot of positional blocking too, which is another effective form of blocking that I don't think a lot of people talk about, where you kind of they were kind of moving with the jammer. They were staying just in front of the jammer and moving with the jammer, so the jammer stayed in motion but could not actually escape the pack, which can be very defeating for a jammer. But I did see some of those walls. There seemed to be, like in the past, the packs were very mixed. So you had like, it'd be like a Haunter and a Crusher, Haunter and a Crusher, Haunter and a Crusher. But in this one, you were seeing more of one team's pack in front and one team's pack in back, So whenever the jammer came through, they weren't just, trying to get through one person from the opposing team. They were trying to get through 2 or 3 people from the opposing team.
It was really fun to watch. I really had a great time.
It was. I trust, because I was scorekeeper. I'm not supposed to like cheer or anything like that, but I couldn't help myself because even like the jammers, there were so many lead jammer changes in just a few seconds. Like there's this term called waterfalling, whereas say you have a pack of like 2 or 3, and as they're coming around a curve, one person will stay on a straight line to go to the outside, and another person will kind of go on a diagonal to come to the inside. And the jammers were literally doing that with each other, fighting for lead jammer position. So you're just watching them go around each other and go around each other and go around each other. This one takes the inside and gets in front. This one takes the outside and gets in front. This one comes around out of the pack, takes the inside, gets lead jammer again. Like, you're constantly jammer changes. That doesn't even happen that often in Premier League bouts in the adult league, where you have that level of it's changing again and again and again, as you did in that bout for the minors.
And if the future of the knockouts depends upon the minors growing into these characters, you're in good hands.
Yeah.
The Crushers had a young lady called Lightning that looks like she is taking to roller derby like a fish to water. She had the look, she had the demeanor, and she was fast on those skates for such a small girl.
Made me feel so small. I smiled at her and she gave me one of those looks that
when I announced her, she looked at me like I was actually like, shut the fuck. She's like, shut the fuck up, dude. I was like, it's on me.
Yeah.
It's on me. So I, like I said, I had a great time with the Scrappers. And what also stuck out to me that was pretty amazing is when they fall, how fast they get up.
Yes.
Like, they are undamaged, undaunted, and it's a millisecond. They're up and they're at it again. I mean, when there's a 5-car pile
the joy of young bones.
I'm telling you, when there's a 5-car pile up in the Premier League, it takes a minute to clean it up and get them up.
It's funny though, because I did have a moment where Hazel threw herself. It actually, Cruella Azul, who's up in the front right here in this photo, Lunala threw herself at him and was like, I'm going to get you out, and missed. But she fell. And when she fell, it was the most beautiful fall. So we have this term in roller derby called fall small. And it gets drilled into your head, because if you have any of your limbs out, you run every risk of being literally run over by other skaters. So when you fall, you want to tuck everything in. And she tucked everything. Everything was tucked. It was gorgeous. And so it's like talking to another derby person and being like, did you see that fall? That fall was beautiful. And then other people are like, but she fell. Like, but it was beautiful. That was
falling with style.
Fall. Yeah, exactly. She was falling with style.
I loved the character of Lunala Juice.
Yes.
To beat her. It was, I really, and she skated differently in that costume. It's like she became a whole different character, which I thought was tremendous.
Yes, it's been fun to see her come out of her shell, and Andrew had made a post about it. Sorry, Hot Rod had made a post about it. Just seeing her come out of her shell with roller derby, but the character work that she put into this bout itself was so awesome to see, and to see her out there, just kind of like one of the photos, she's like showing off basically for the camera. She's like, look at me.
And that's what Beater does every time around the track.
Yes. So she did her character study.
Yeah. So I thought that was tremendous. Another skater on the Brawlers that I was completely enthralled with because of the entertainment quality was Donnie Rotting.
Yes.
And his removable eyeball. When he first dropped the eyeball on the track, I popped like a child, and
Yes.
I could the entire match. Anytime I would mention him, I would be checking on the eyeball because
Yes.
he drugged me into that story, and all I gave a shit about the entire thing. And at one point, Bikini's like, "Stop talking about the eyeball." I can't stop talking about it because I was blown away by that kind of storytelling. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good.
And he had it just like you being proud mama, as a scorekeeper. He had a proud mama with a cool sign, and that Jen and Tonic son, which it was
Yes.
amazing, just an amazing, and I love the fact that all of these kids are into their characters in every way. I didn't know what Carrot Cake was going to be, but it was amazing. It was amazing. So if you haven't
Carrot Cake really impressed me. I could tell last time that they had some like good jammer skills, but this time Carrot Cake was unstoppable. Unstoppable. It was amazing to watch, and it was one of those moments where I was like sitting on the sidelines, she was like, "Yeah, go!" And I was like, "Wait, I can't do this. I have to be unbiased. I am not biased." But yeah, it was really hard to stay calm. I think it's hard for everybody to stay calm because just watching people that started a month ago or 2 months ago or 3 months ago haven't even been here like the full like almost a year that Miners has been running, like really coming into their own in this bout was one of the best feelings that you could possibly have.
And it was so inspiring watching them do, and they had a great crowd. It was a crowded house. There were a lot of people there, which was great. I love the fact that the community came out to support the Miners in the afternoon. Talking about children of premier players, there is no way that you can't watch Sweet Tooth skate and not know who Mama is.
Yeah.
And I say the same thing to a certain extent about Lethally Blonde. It's like these skaters, you can tell where they come from. Obviously, we're certainly partial to Lunala. We know where Lunala comes from, but to watch Sweet Tooth in the open court on the open track, trying to pick up speed, you see the similarities. 100%. And boy, Lethally Blonde has got the stamp of Eurothrash 100%.
Yeah. Yes, agreed. So, I mean, she still has some aggression to unlock, but it's there. She was jamming against Lunala, and I was telling her to elbow my own daughter. I was like, "Come on, Lethal, use those elbows, knock her down."
I didn't know what to expect with the Miners because I'm still new with the Premier League, so I didn't know how effective I would be. I didn't know what I would talk about, but they gave me so much to talk about on commentary. It was an easy afternoon, and I had a great time. So I encourage you to see the Miners bout that's going to come up in December. It's going to be fantastic. And then November 11th, we have the quest for the Golden State Skate concludes for 2023 as the Rumblers and the Haunters compete for the Golden Skate. Give us your predictions on that particular thing. Are you healthy? Will you be back, or are you still on the mend to fight another day?
I am very unhealthy. I fell on Saturday, messed myself up pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean, there was no way I was gonna do it. I was gonna be able to do it to begin with, but I was like, I get that itch, and I was like, maybe I will, and then I fell, so I'm not doing it. But unfortunately for the Crushers, they are out of the title bout for the first time in 5 years because they don't have me. Sorry, Crushers.
That's fair.
But I'm gonna be honest. I think the Haunters are gonna take it.
Yeah, I feel kind of like Beetlejuice is on a mission from God this year. She has been very entertaining to watch throughout the calendar year, and the vendetta she apparently has against our friend Rion Skills is some of the funniest stuff you will see. Rion was there on Saturday, but he wasn't a fight ref. he was essentially saving children from death as he
Yes.
nobly held up the mat on the wall when it fell.
So did Hot Rod. So did Hot Rod.
I did. Now, Red, I know you're not falling asleep, brother.
No.
Do we all acknowledge Red is about to fall asleep?
No, if I was falling asleep, you see me like this.
Did you all see the eyes? Did you all see the eyes? We are
what? My eyes are small.
We're gonna roll this back. Red's about to go night night. It's been a long day for Red.
It's been a stressful day for Red.
That's fair.
All right.
Well, it's not getting any quieter here, so I'm gonna have to tap out. But
all right,
it was lovely.
Hey, thanks for stopping by on Halloween. Wait, before you go, what are some of your favorite Halloween movies?
I don't know.
You don't like scary movies? You got nothing.
No.
I gave you the assignment in the afternoon.
I don't do scary movies. I can tell you the movies that horrified me and I will never recover from. Would you like that list?
Just give me a couple. You don't got to give me a lot. I know you got to go.
The Sixth Sense, The Autopsy of Jane Doe, and The Green Room.
Okay, well, not for the faint of heart. That Sixth Sense movie was as suspenseful as it gets. That was really good. All right, Cactus.
I saw your face, Red. To be fair, the one and only time I saw it, I was 12. So,
which one?
The first Sixth Sense.
Ding dong, trick or treat.
Enter the house.
No, there's a reason why I'm ding dong and trick or treating.
He's at your door.
I can't just.
All right, Ryan's about to greet you in his underwear.
All right, I gotta go. I love you all. Smooches. Hi, Pat.
Snoogans.
Cactus.
Have a good night.
Happy Halloween.
You too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the lovely, the talented Rachel, aka Cactus Rack. We're glad that she stopped in to celebrate Halloween with us, if only for a few moments. Hello, Pac-Man. Welcome to the show, Mr. SpongeBob.
Hello. Happy Halloween to everybody.
So Travis won't acknowledge the promo because nobody taped it that he's seen yet. Is that what I'm to understand?
I guess that sounds like what he said.
I mean, come on, man. How many times do I got to keep listening to the JFW show? And he keeps non-sequentially throwing the Power Hour under the bus.
I mean, like I always say, and I know I'm going to get hell for it next week, it's just Travis doing Travis things.
And we got Rion here. Rion has entered the house. We're in a different room, so Rion is kind of assessing the setup of tonight's broadcast. Now that you're here, Pac-Man, we kind of waited on you because I wanted Red to hear your opinion. Take us back to the moment where C-Red went gangsta.
So, the entire Damian Gray match, and I noted, like, I couldn't even look at Gray, but what kind of helped me feel better was listening to Grandpa Red behind me the entire match, heckling him with the rest of the fans. And then when he came on the ring apron to distract Bray, and, in a way it was kind of poetic justice for what happened to Maximus at Darkness Falls, I was like over the moon to see Daddy Andy win. But then Rion asked him, why, C-Red, why? And I hung on to every single word Grandpa Red said. And I think everybody in that VFW was doing the same thing. And it was just, what else can I say about it? It was absolutely fantastic. And I couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, there you go, Red. That's from the people. The people have spoken. You're still.
Well, I said it, so I know what I said. I mean, Travis is the one that's saying it didn't happen. And I mean, again, unfortunately, if he wants me to cut one on him, I have no problem.
Oh, I want that.
Or, and this is a crazy thing, come to the show.
Come on, Travis, come to the show. We've been asking.
He's been there.
He's been there, but again, this is, of course, a time where he doesn't make it.
But it's also that whole thing: if a tree falls on the woods, it doesn't make a sound. It's just a matter. It's a lot easier to know if it falls if you're there.
Yeah, you actually see. You gotta get out the way.
Well, there were enough people there that can vouch that it happened. So, enough people to say yes, this tree fell on Damian Gray, and I have no problem with it continuing to fall on Damian Gray.
And that's precisely why I don't feel like doing this informational liaison stuff.
Yeah, you were.
Because everybody keep willy-nilly and whatever the hell they want to do. It's so much easier to just say stuff because you ain't got no face.
You're right there.
But he has no face. So
I had a whole thing. I'm gonna come in here. Look, so I had a whole thing I was gonna do today. And I'm sorry, I turned the thing off.
That's all right.
I was going to be the question. I was going to be the question today from DC Comics, but I was going to be the question from the Ace Vane universe. I'm going to change my voice and everything. I had a whole thing I was going to do.
Well, that
But
Turks did that.
My superpower is going. But see, this is from the Ace Vane universe.
Okay, gotcha.
So you don't know. You don't. So, okay, hold on.
I don't know Ace Vane.
And no one does. It's like two people that knows what that is.
I don't know what that
it's
is.
Very simple. Just ask me a question.
How was your day?
Huh?
I asked you a question.
What?
You said ask me a question, so I did.
No, I asked the questions.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
I'm the one that be asking the questions. You can't take my question powers from me. I'm the one that has the questions.
So you're gonna ask me a question.
Why you got these ears on your head?
Well, because this is a mask. See, you got your mask on. I felt like maybe I ought to put my backup mask on.
But that don't explain the ears. Is that just something that you just grow ears?
I don't have. I mean, the ears are hidden and they're horns. I mean, those aren't really ears.
But did you acknowledge them as horns or ears the first time?
I thought yeah, that's the good question. Okay, so now I'm losing this argument.
See, is the question powers? Is the question powers? The people the only reason I can hide these question powers is because I ain't got no face.
well, I ain't worried about it.
I had a whole thing that I was going to do today.
That was very good.
I had a whole thing, and I said, no, not today. This is all you get. It's all you get.
Well, let me just say this. Right now, you are another person entirely, which to me, that's what Halloween is all about. But when you go back to being information liaison,
he's not going back to it.
I apologize again, and it wasn't any direct slap at you, your office, or IPW management. It is me being fed up of people. Again, as I told Steve earlier, I don't know if it's because they think they can try me because my sabbatical date is coming up. I don't think they can try me because I'm older. I don't know if they think they can try me because lately I've been pretty much running solo on my own. I don't know what the reasons are. But when you come for me and mine, one, you don't come for me and mine. And two, if you come, you better not miss. And at this point, now you done pissed me off. So, again, I apologize for my actions. And I have no problem with stating, what I did might have been a little emotional, a little knee-jerk reaction, but, all in all, I'm happy with myself.
Well, I'm happy with you too. You're still one of the best referees I've ever seen.
Oh, thank you. I now you know what pisses me off is the fact that they said I cheated. Hey, I didn't see one thing. I saw one set of shoulders and I counted 1, 2, 3. Like, so
Thank you.
You're struggling.
I was reaching. I was trying. So we got this because of your count. We have these. I have this now. You know what? I have to apologize for this a little bit. I got kind of sucked into that match at the end. I was just there to take tickets, and then I got chosen to be a part of that trios team. Gustavo and the Real Deal Muggsy Skills, they won these titles. I just happened to be in the ring and I distracted the workhorses momentarily. You know, there it is. There it is. Before we get to this, let's do that. There's a little proof that a promo happened. Now, Travis can't hear it, but with the look on Rion's face and Red in that microphone, you know that something's happening.
And as you can see, it is being recorded.
It is being recorded. That is the one and only Sean Danger, who does great work in the videography department at IPW, as well as being one half of the tag team champions.
He is not.
They are not the tag team champions. Who is it now?
That would be Nick Dennison and.
Oh, that's right. They lost to the Diamond Doll and Nick Diamond. Yeah, I forgot about that. All right. Well, they were great champions. I love the run of Diesel and Sean as the tag team champions. I noticed that the tag team champions weren't at IPW this
They were not.
Any reason?
No, I mean, you want an actual reason, or what do you?
No, I'm just curious.
Well, I mean, I could only be so many places in one time.
That's true.
I mean,
that's fair.
That's how all of this happened. Like, I don't know why no one pays attention to me saying about the IPW board and the information liaison. There's a lot, and you keep asking. Stop asking questions.
We just 3 out and Mr. Question is back.
Let me just say,
let me ask a question. You stop asking me questions. I don't need to ask you questions about why you got this thing for 14 days on.
He's not wrong.
You had that on for 14 days.
Go ahead and do the thing.
I'll let you do the thing. I'm sorry. That's my fault.
Let me just say, I don't think anybody gives Sean Danger enough credit when it comes to video photography.
Just talk today.
Danger does a wonderful job, and I don't think we acknowledge him enough for all his contributions. So even though it's Halloween, thank you, Sean Danger, for everything you do for all the companies that you're involved with, but especially IPW, because I've been there since day one, and Danger has been there since day one, and Danger has busted his tail. So
I want to piggyback on that. Sean Danger goes places, and wherever he goes, he helps out. I have seen him at CSW. I have seen him at Rocket Pro. And when people aren't putting away chairs and cleaning up garbage, Sean Danger is doing it. So, and for those of you that you know don't appreciate the wrestler that Sean Danger is, he's really good. It's really hard to wrestle drunk, and Sean Danger has that down to a science. So when he's in that ring doing his thing, playing his character, that is some of the best character work that's happening in professional. It's unsung, but I see you, Sean, and wrestling wouldn't be the same without you. So I echo Red's sentiments, and I think you're the unsung hero of this business in a great many ways, and I appreciate you.
I agree.
Pac-Man, I saw you try to chime in a couple of times. What you got, brother?
I mean, I have worked with Sean even like, setups and everything at Rocket Pro, and he's always there, setting up the ring. He's there most of the nights that they do setup, as long as he can do it. So, he's, great. I've learned a lot from him as far as like setting up the ring and stuff. From like watching him and just seeing like what he brings to a company in that regard. And I know that's such a big part of the business to, help with setups and help with takedown. And it's, he still does it. And I think that's awesome. I think that's great. So a lot of love to Sean Danger.
100%. And Rion just talked to him, so I'm sure Rion said everything that he needed to say.
He's the most important person on the roster for IPW.
Yes.
I agree.
I've told that to his face. He is the most, and I've told the roster, he is the most important person on the IPW roster. If anyone feels that they are more important, I'll tell you directly, no, you are not. Sean Danger is the most important person on the IPW roster.
Is it because he can do everything and does everything?
And however you want to put it.
Is that kind of accurate?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I could have been very elaborate, but we're going to go with that. Yes.
I wasn't asking a question, though.
I know.
I was making a statement.
Yes, you were.
I was. All right, so let's talk a little bit. We'll go through, since JFW spent a lot of time on IPW, we'll kind of go through it. Turtle fought the baby. And I really enjoyed the match. That young man is a special talent. I've never seen him work before.
He is from OVW.
And he is got talent coming out of every corpuscle in his body.
Agreed.
Will he return to IPW at any time? If anything, if there's I asked a question. That was my fault. I forgot where I was. I got out of my lane. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. As far as I know, he is welcome back.
Turtle spent a lot of time on the podcast this morning saying that the young man took him out of his comfort zone and got him to do some things he hadn't done in a while, which
Work. I'll say it. There was no fun and games. He had to go in there and be serious. He had to do things. I'll say it for you, and I hope they give me shit for it. I will gladly take that heat and start more fires in the process. That man went in there and said, we are about to do a lot of working while doing nothing. And that's exactly what happened. He put him in a position where it's like, no, we're not doing this. You finna come out here and work. If you are as good as you say you are, if you're as amazing as you say you are, you're gonna work. And that was something that I actually talked about in the very beginning. I asked this guy, what do you consider yourself to be? Amazing. And I said, that's funny because we have an amazing turtle. You guys should work out perfectly. And that's not a joke. That's not a joke.
I sat right there. It happened. And I was like, wow, okay. But honestly, you have to get out of your comfort zone. Too many times, and that's what I try to teach or explain to the younger generation. When you wrestle the same people over and over again, no matter what company, you guys are all in the same 5 companies, but you guys are steady wrestling each other, and it might not be every month, but it's in close proximity to each other. Your growth becomes stale. And I think on Sunday, Turtle had to realize I'm facing somebody I've never seen, somebody that has a little bit more oomph than I do. And I've got to go out here and it's either keep up or die. And I was impressed. Turtle kept up.
There are a lot of people that showed up at IPW on Sunday that normally wouldn't be around, and it showed. It definitely showed.
We had other great matches. We talked a little bit already about Andy and Damian Gray and how that ended with Red and how that led to the promo of the year. So that was a quality match. When it's Damian Gray and Andy, you're not going to get a match anything less than excellent, and they were excellent. So that match was good, even down to the end. Another match that happened that I really enjoyed was the women's match, RVP and Brittany. They've been kind of tussling a little bit over the last couple of months, but this match was a straight up brawl. And I thought it was entertaining as hell. I did not have my phone on me at the time, and I regret it because I wanted to do commentary to it, and I didn't have the wherewithal to do any commentary this past Sunday at IPW. And there were moments that I went to do it and I didn't have my phone, and regretted each moment because there were so many splendid matches, and you could see the education of Brittany as a young wrestler and the strength and character of RVP being a vet showcase in that match. It was really good.
I missed it. So maybe Pax can give a better hindsight of his opinion because I totally missed it.
So that match was absolutely terrific. Definitely, I feel from my experience, as I've been following, the Illinois Independents, I haven't seen a lot of the women that work on our scene. And, I've seen Brittany a couple times at Wrestle League. I've obviously seen Renee quite a few times as well at IPW. So I remember their first match was very good, and I got very excited for seeing them again at this show. And I got to say, they delivered. They definitely delivered, and the crowd was really into it.
I'm still trying to get used to Renee as a blonde. It's a little wild. But I've been watching Renee Van Peebles fight my entire career, all 10 years. She has been one of the constants in my wrestling experience because everywhere I go, there she is doing her thing. And at this point, she is, just a lead pipe lock as a vet to me. Nothing.
Yep. Just keeping them the sound going.
I thought Red was going to say something, but that's okay. Moving on. We had OVW sensation, Netflix superstar TW3 taking on Marcelo Spade for the C3 Urban Culture Championship. With no disrespect to Marshe Rocket here, but that chop, TW3.
Go ahead.
That chop that he hit Marcelo with. Marcelo is going to have a handprint on his body till June. It was so loud. It was like a gunshot went off in that building. That
Go ahead.
I'm just talking. I mean, Marshe is the king of chops to me, in my opinion. His chops will always be the loudest I've ever heard. But that was right there. That was right there.
I am going to add that there was a moment in the match.
You laughed a lot. There was a lot of laughter from you.
There was a moment in the match where TW3 kicked Marcel Spade. He countered him. He countered him. I forget if it was clothesline or something, but he countered it into a kick. And I think it was I think when I saw it, it was literally a blank. No, you ain't got to do that. They know it's me.
I'm just adjusting. I'm just adjusting.
They just presented it, and for everyone that was there, it was just a kick. But to myself, it was watching Marcelo Spade have an earth-shattering realization that I asked for this fight. We here now. I watched that man's head snap and his knee buckle, and I just started laughing because I felt one of those before. And I just started laughing on the outside. And I know that no one else cared about his life, but I did. And for about 30 seconds, I was like, I don't even think, we know, you go through stuff too. But he got hit in the back of his skull. And it was just one of those things where I was just like, okay. I hope someone else saw this. So then when I look across the room, Marche is fucking dying as well. I'm like, thank you, Marche. Thank you. Because no one else saw this man died for 30 seconds. For 30 seconds, he was gone. He was not on this earth. He was somewhere else. Watching him. And then the fact, kudos to Marcelo Spade for defending the championship. But for 30 seconds, it was someone else. He was the club. He was not a Spade at all. He was just there. I just
wasn't a Spade, wasn't a diamond.
Yeah. All I can say is I didn't catch it, but I caught the eye contact between Riyadh and Marche and the laughter that ensued. So I wish I had seen it so I could have been in on the thing, but
well, let's just say I without breaking too many fourth wall barriers, I had to deal with both competitors backstage. And let's just say I almost lost my shit. Because Marcelo, I don't think he still knew where he was when he sat down. Riyadh said, for 30 seconds. Now, it was longer than 30 seconds because even sitting there and I'm sitting right next to him. And matter of fact, he had that same look I had after Max kick. I think when you get kicked in the head, it do something up here and it take a while for your brain cells to reconfigure. It don't matter where in the head. But it was like, oh shit. Okay. Again, it's one of those things is we are taught by Mr. Skills. Careful what you wish for. Might just get it.
Always a catch. Soul Taker versus Creed was my first time seeing Soul Taker. Very impressive guy. Loves color. He's very good on a mic, very colorful language, which is something we don't typically hear at IPW, but we heard it on Sunday. But I would like to see Soul Taker Creed 2, because the Workhorses came in there and we never really got a definitive winner. It was a no contest because of the interference. But what happened to the Workhorses after they did what they did? Boy, that went sideways for them very quickly. And Soul Taker is a mountain of a human. And yeah. When Creed is, Creed is a big dude, and Creed doesn't get out bigged often. But watching him trying to deal with this monstrous man, it was a side of Creed that I've never seen. And I've seen Creed fight Marche and Logan at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that. You know what I was happy about? Have you ever watched somebody on TV or YouTube, whatever, and then you see them in real life and they disappoint you in some aspect?
Yeah.
And when he walked in, I was like, damn, that's got to be him.
Who is he?
Soul Taker.
Okay, just making sure. Making sure.
I mean, I you know, me and Creed, you know, we've ran the same places, so you know, but when Soul Taker walked out, and it was funny because he walked in and instantly I knew it wasn't the fact that, you know, never seen him before. I just looked at this dude. I like, whoa. And I wasn't disappointed. And that was the thing that I've seen people like, oh, they're fucking great. Oh shit, I can't wait to meet him. Can't wait to see him. And then it's itty bitty little midget. And you like, how the hell you pull that off? But this dude was all of that. Dude is powerful. He, you know, he got some strength and some power. And it was a great matchup until, well, hell, I even love the finish. I mean, I didn't care that the damn workhorses decided, again, be careful what you wish for, because they really got it.
They got it. They got hit. Wade got hit with a shovel multiple times.
Hey.
And it was bad timing for them too. You know, because they had a match next. And to take the ass whipping they took from Creed and the Soul Taker almost assured them of having what happened in the main event happen.
Well, but here's the correct. Now, Pax, I need you to think on this because I'm asking this to you too.
Okay.
I need somebody to explain to me that we have to defend our titles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we have not defended them already. And we're next. But we're going to go jump these two dudes that the three of us should be able to beat. And they, like, where was the logical part of their thinking in this just because they thought it was 3-on-2? Like, if you see how tall Soul Taker is, and you see how wide Creed is, they equal they equal 3 workhorses. Just 2 of them. So
go ahead.
I'm just saying somebody.
You were talking to Pax. So I'll leave it be as far as the logistics.
No, this is for everybody because I'm trying to understand the mentality. If I have a title match, me and my 2 partners, why would I go attack 2 dudes, even though it's 3 of us, but these 2 dudes equal us?
Maybe they got antsy because they knew they had Gustavo and they wanted to get the match over with and done with. It's not the first time that they came and just jumped people for the sake of jumping people. You have had multiple altercations with them when they just decided to go after people for the sake of going after people. They've went into a match when there was 4 or 5 people, and because there's the 3 of them, they just try to go at. It's not something that they do. It's not like the first time that they've done this. They're just doing what they normally would do any other time. They just ran into the 2 wrong people, and the numbers game didn't work. But this is not the first time that they've used the numbers game and attack people. Most of the time, they come out on top. This particular time, they did not.
Okay, I can take that. Pax, what about you?
Good job.
I mean, I will say, I was a little confused by the strategy. I mean, I can kind of see I can see Rion's reasoning for why they would want to, maybe to make a statement. Even, knowing that Gustavo was out there to, try to, let him know pretty much what they're going up against, but it backfired spectacularly.
It did. I mean, yeah.
They were both, all three of them were at the end beat down by Creed and Soul Taker. And I mean, it backfired spectacularly on them. Whatever they were going for was not the way that they had designed it in their heads.
Well, Rion's right. The workhorses, it was their modus operandi for sure. They have made a pretty decent career out of just being them and doing their thing. And in a few weeks, we'll have them on this show. I have tried to put my bitterness and dislike aside. I almost feel a little bad for them because they were so close to getting their year with the trios championships, but any given Sunday, not meant to be this one. So Gustavo, Muggsy, and myself, I'll wait to see what we do with these trios titles. I mean, my goodness, it's an honor to wear a belt that's got such a great lineage. So we'll see where we go from here. I am certainly the weak link of that tag team, so we'll see. I hope I don't screw it up for those two because Gustavo is over the moon with this title, and Muggsy is really happy with it too. So I'm going to try to carry my load, and hopefully we'll have at least a little success before something bad happens, and it usually does when I'm involved. But IPW, it was a great show, great turnout. I thought Gustavo was a great host. Marche Rocket issued an open challenge for next month. So All Day will be back in December.
November.
I went over a whole month at IPW. It'll be Thanksgiving Sunday will be the next show. And there's a lot going on there. D'Angelo Steele, not of his right mind. He's got problems. He's named his belt and he talks to that belt.
Hey, leave my son and Rachel alone.
That belt is a hoe. Believe that.
Not even sure how you segue out of that.
There's no segue. It's just a fact. But like I said, IPW will be back in action Thanksgiving weekend after the turkey and the Black Friday and whatever you do on Saturday. You'll need a break on Sunday. Come out for some fun wrestling entertainment at the VFW in Richmond Park. It'll be great. Before we get into Rocket Pro Wrestling, which we will do in just a bit, there's D'Angelo Steele. There's your son and his crazy belt.
Leave him and Rachel alone.
I'm telling you, man, you gotta get your son some meds or something. Boy's not right.
Hey, what works for him works for him.
I suppose that's fair. I suppose he has been the champion now for a minute, so certainly Muggsy, give Muggsy credit for being in that main event because he and Steele, that was a very hard-hitting match.
Hey, I even say that a few times I did not think my son was gonna walk out with the title. So, and if you thought you think you're crazy now, I hate to see when he loses it, if he loses it, but I'll make sure I'm packed on vacation and gone far away.
You don't want Rachel to find another boy. That would be things very weird. A couple other matches of note at IPW this past Sunday before we move on. Joey Dalton still looking for a shot at D'Angelo Steele, took on EJ Swanson. And, if you get a chance to see those two work a match ever, take advantage of it because those are two of the best young talents in the area right now. Swanson and Dalton, they put on a clinic. It was a great match. Only after it was over to have Steele come in and just beat the bejesus out of poor Joey Dalton to the point where Quinn had to resuscitate him by slapping him on the back of the head.
Yep.
And then finally, the Enigma, the Lightning Kid, in triple threat fashion, retains his title over Scorpion Dorado and
what is his name?
It's a Scorpion.
No, the Enigma. What is his name?
Lightning Kid, Lat.
Lightning Kid Lat. Okay, just making sure I got it right. Go ahead.
And Jay Vanity. It was a triple threat match, and Lat retains his title, and there was harmony and peace in the multiverse because our hero won. So that's IPW in a nutshell. Anybody else got anything?
No.
And we got some nice new belts. These are pretty. I had the brown one to start with, but Gustavo said he liked the brown one, so I have the black one. So I'm just happy to have one. I didn't care what color I got. Like a box of chocolates. It's all good. It's Halloween. It's Halloween night. Rion, go back through the mists of your mind. What are some of your favorite Halloween memories? Whether it be wrestling or your childhood, anything stand out from the past that would make an interesting story?
Give me a minute.
Red, what about you?
I don't know as far as interesting stories. I know my very first costume ever, and I don't think my mother thought it through. Because I just think she just grabbed one, you know what I'm saying? Like to shut me up so I wouldn't say anything. But she grabbed the demon from Kiss. Now, I think Pax is the only one on here that's not old enough to remember when the costumes used to come in those boxes.
Yep.
They weren't hanging up, they were in those little boxes, and you had the clear piece of paper, clear window. So all you really got to see was the face.
Mask.
Right, the mask. So I was the demon. And for the longest I kept thinking, why is my Christian based family, mother in more particular, buying me a Satan costume? And then I found Gene Simmons on the cover of Rock On magazine. And from that point on, I had to know everything about Kiss. Then, as I posted yesterday,
Kiss meets the Phantom.
Dude, for me, and it came on CBS. And for me, that was life itself. Like, I needed to watch that every Halloween.
And that was generally hated by everybody, that movie. But I love that shit.
I love it. I mean, yes, the action is sucks and the story ain't all there. And I was just happy to see Kiss. My favorite horror icon will forever be Michael Myers. He's not dead.
We saw him at Rocket Pro at Darkness Falls.
Oh, that was lovely.
And we're pretty sure he's in cahoots with Shelly.
Yeah. Oh no, Shelly knows him on first name basis.
She's got one of those wand thingies, as you said on commentary.
It is a wand thing. I miss any Charlie Brown special during this time. So it's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. We're gonna miss, and unless you have some other, I think
it's on Apple TV.
No, but see, all of those now are exclusive to Apple, and that sucks.
Yeah.
I just find Halloween to be the best time of year because I get to dress up. And anybody knows me, I spend money on costumes.
I loved your costume this year, man.
I don't halfway play. So
I love the Batman, the Adam West Batman. That is the best costume. You got to save that mask. That mask was legit.
It's upstairs. It's not going nowhere. The costume ain't going nowhere. I might buy a new utility belt. I'm thinking about that. But it is, some people feels like it's Satan's night and all this. To me, it's just a time to. It's like being a wrestler. There we go. Pack red.
It's the eyebrows, bro. It's the eyebrows.
I know, right?
What makes
oh my
that
God,
mask.
it was so hard to see out of that thing. It's the one time of the year. If you're a wrestler, then of course you understand. But it's the one time of the year that most people aren't wrestlers. You get to put on particular piece of clothing, and you can be whoever that said piece of clothing is. And it's if it's done right, it's all in fun. It's so everybody can have fun. So for one particular night, I got to be Adam West and got to be Batman. So
amazing. And you should have worn that at Nightmare on Chicago Street and hung around with Kid Lat as Robin, because I want pictures of that.
Well, what sucked is
I think we should make a film where you're Batman and he's Robin and you go fight crime.
What sucked is he asked if I had that Sunday. He asked
make a soundtrack. I want to do it all.
He asked if I had the costume, and I said I started to bring it, but I was like, that means then I got to get dressed. I got to put it on.
Would have been so worth it.
And I think, beating the hell out of Damian Gray would have lost a little something, because it would have been Batman.
Would have been. I feel that. Pac-Man, what about you? Any Halloween memories that jump to your head?
I got a couple. So the costume that I showed before, that was me, and I want to say that was second grade.
SpongeBob?
That was handmade by my mom. Two little couch cushions. I mean, the thing was really, really bulky. And at that point, at points I was having a lot of difficulty with my legs, because my legs kept butting up into the cushioning, And I remember this was when I was still living in Chicago. I was going up one of those bungalow staircases, got my candy, and I stepped down. My thigh got stuck, and I missed the step, and I fell down. I very vaguely remember this, but my parents remember it like it was yesterday.
Probably because you was knocked out.
Probably. But for whatever reason, I just started screaming diabetes over and over. No rhyme or reason why that came out of my mouth. And my parents are like,
what?
Looking at that is what I don't know, man. I was in second grade. Don't ask me.
Pac-Man, there's something about you, dude. You're just a trip.
My parents said there are people looking at them like, why are they giving this kid with diabetes candy, taking them trick-or-treating?
Oh man, that's good. What about your shows? What Halloween stuff do you like? What's your favorite movie? What do you got, Pac-Man?
So I'm not super into horror. But I would say my favorite thriller movie, well, this is kind of a horror movie. I love The Shining, the Jack Nicholson one. Fantastic movie.
Classic.
It's a classic. Nightmare on Elm Street, the original. That's another favorite of mine. But yeah, no, those two. But other than that, I'm not really a big horror movie guy.
But you love Halloween, right?
Oh my! It's one of my favorite holidays of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, all the candy and all the costumes and the creativity of just seeing what people are able to put together and do, and it's there's no feeling like that. It's a lot of fun.
My friend Steve and his new girlfriend dressed up for Halloween today to give away candy at their house, and they dressed up as Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Only my
that's great.
Steve was Taylor Swift and his girlfriend was Travis Kelce. It is amazing. It is amazing. It made my day. It made my whole Halloween to see those costumes. Whoever went trick-or-treating by their house that saw Taylor and Travis, that's good stuff right there. That's very clever. For me,
Actually, it is really not, because one of the sports writers, I don't know if anybody watches sports, but there's a show called God, I can't even think of it. Just comes on before pardon the interruption. Around the Horn, there it is. And one of the nationally known sports writers dressed up as Taylor Swift on live national TV. And it was like, are we all cashing in on the Swift Kelce
cash
thing?
in, baby. This is one of those times. Unless they get married and stay together forever, this merry-go-round will end spectacularly. And the fallout from said conclusion, if it does conclude, will make for some great records and therapy and talk shows. And you want to see people happy forever. You want to see them succeed. And they're the same age, and the same, both in the public eye, very, very popular celebrities. And you hope that, maybe this is the one for both of them.
True.
But God forbid shit happen and life happen, and that separates and it ends up ugly. Ooh, what's going to come that we're going to get to watch, assuming we're not all dead by then?
You know what's going to happen? The Kansas City Chiefs are going to end up being racist because they're Chiefs, and they're not even like it's going to be one of those. They're going to have to change their name. Like, but you just watch. It's going to be something so ridiculous. Like they won't even be able to recover. Like the city of Kansas City won't be able to fucking recover from it. They won't be.
Travis Kelce has signed up for this willingly, and he has played the part so far beautifully. They caught him at the World Series when they would play Taylor songs dancing. So he has done everything right thus far.
Thus far.
But watch out, because the Swifties, that whole army, you thought the Kiss Army was tough in the 70s? They ain't got nothing on those Swifties. That is some dedicated human beings with an agenda. And when Taylor casts you aside, you go aside, and you may never come back.
No, he as long as he got Mahomes passing the ball, he'll be all right.
Patrick didn't look so good this past week, but that's neither good.
Hey, let that go.
I'm just saying. Rion's eating chili.
I just want to know his favorite Halloween memory.
Well, let him finish his.
I don't see. Halloween is weird for me because I don't really have a lot of Halloween memories. Like I tried looking for them because it's always the same thing. We'll go get the candy, come back and go play. Okay, look. So when I was younger, just so you can get an understanding, when I was younger and I knew that Halloween was coming, I didn't give a fuck about the weather. I knew when I got out of school, if it was 3 o'clock, I need to be on them streets in 3:30. I don't care what the bus is doing. I don't care who is at work. I know that if it's Halloween, I need to be out there in the streets because I need to get as much candy as I can because I know by the end of the week, there's going to be a meeting amongst my people as far as trying to figure out who's going to have what from different towns. Like it was like... Like I'm serious. I'm serious. When I was younger, I had a bunch of friends that would just go to different like we had like a network that would just fucking figure out because and I got my sister in it too. So when I got out of the game, she was still in it. So she so it was like I need you to understand. Like that's all I don't have fucking a normal like memory of stuff because So just okay, so you understand. Like when I was younger, my parents like moved around a lot. And
Okay.
so I'll just start at University Park. We'll just start from there. Okay. So when I realized that I actually had a bunch of friends that all was on the same thing I was on, we could just get a bunch of candy from different neighborhoods, but I got little feet. I can't just be going out in different places and just because at a certain point your parents got to look for you. So when I found out when I got into junior high that there were other people doing the same thing that I was doing, I was like, this is amazing. We could all collectively meet at the end, put all our candy together and disperse it amongst, and we could just make our own little candy store. When I say the amount of candy that we were willing to go and get collectively and this is local. So University Park and Crete, just in itself, for a child in the local area, there's a lot of houses you can just hit up.
It's a big area.
I didn't know that Homewood existed until I was like fucking 14 years old. Fucking blew me away. I was like, look at, like, this is when I started to learn the idea of full bars. Like, there, and then when I was able to drive and then get my sister into going to other places, where you want to go? Where you like wherever you want to go, we can figure it out. I didn't care if it snowed. I just put a jacket on. The people knew why I was there. They knew what the fuck was going on. I had to just go there, give me the stuff. You know why? You don't see me any other time of the year. You know why the fuck I'm here. Like, it's not, I mean, I say trick or treat and everything else, but if you're like, where's your costume? Bitch, it is 13 degrees. You think a kid is gonna be out here asking for stuff at 13 degrees or what? If you don't give me that goddamn cap, you know why I'm here. Give me the candy. Give me the shit so I can go to the next door so I can get what I need to get. I don't have time for this. I'm on a schedule. Me and my buddies need to meet up on Friday to get everything in order. Y'all fucking around my network. How am I supposed to look? To this day, I still love Milky Ways. Okay. When I found out that Milky Ways, but I only knew of Milky Ways being in small packaging. Okay. When I found out that they had king size Milky Way bars as well as this, and then it was different size, I said, who the fuck? Look. Look, my memories of Halloween are a little bit different than everyone else's. I wasn't out there trying to enjoy the childhood memories of my friends. My friends knew what it was. Where the shit at? We need to get out here in these streets. We only got a little bit of time. And every year the time got shorter and shorter because these assholes out here stealing bags. That was another thing. We had to like get other people and hire them with other candy. Like, yeah, we can give you this amount if you just make sure that nobody jump us. That was the real shit. We had to make sure that people would watch our back so no one else. But you know how hard it is to get a bodyguard off of sugar? That's why I'm like, I can't just
fuck.
Like, I have memories, but it's not the memories that you think you want. Like, I'm gonna go back and eat this
That's fantastic. And Rion's not wrong. When we were kids and we would trick or treat, there was always an element of danger because
I got it easy now.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous now, and it's such a level of safety that is, and everybody's looking out for, and the world is fucked up. Don't get me wrong. I'm a parent, and when my son would go out trick or treating, I was a wreck until he came home. So I get it. You know, they've cut it down. You start at 4 o'clock, you end at 7 o'clock. That's 3 hours. Get your shit. When we were kids,
where's that at?
What?
That must be out there by you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Halloween didn't end until November 3rd. You still had candy. They just let that shit sit in the house. If you, hey, you still got. You had fucking candy, and they were just going. I would just go grab it. I didn't care because I knew it was there. I knew it was there. If your light was on, it was over season. You don't want me to come to your house? Turn your shit off.
Turn your light off.
I'm glad, and I respect that. I respect that. If your light is off, I'm fine with it. But your light is on, I'm coming there all week. You better have the goddamn.
You better have those big Milky Ways.
You better have something.
Rion's right though. When we were kids, there was an element of danger at trick or treating because when you're a younger kid, you're out there from 3:30. When the minute the bus gets home, you get your costume on. If it's cold, you put your jacket on. You take your pillow sack, and you're gonna fill that shit up, and you're gonna be out until 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. You know, it got later and later when I was a kid, and it would piss the people off, but they'd still open their. I'm out of candy now, and it's fine. And you know, but back
turn your light off.
but back in those days, you know, it was a night. It was a whole night. When you were giving out candy, you committed to the whole night. My mom would sit on that couch and wait for trick-or-treaters, and she would not go to bed till midnight. Until it became November 1st, she would assume the trick-or-treaters were going to come up until midnight. And that's the way it was in my neighborhood, you know, and, you know, you could walk around out there and it was, you know, pretty safe, you know, as far as, you know, getting kidnapped and stuff and that kind of shenanigan.
That's a whole nother problem that was going on there. But that,
right.
But those not even for candy too.
Yeah.
So that was a real gambit that you had
you didn't want to take the candy from the Chevy van in the parking lot. You stayed away from the Chevy vans and the candy. You went to the house with the lights and the decorations.
Man, what about the razor blades?
Well, that was some shit too. You had to be careful. And when you got home, your parents would check your shit. But it was the struggle to get home. Once it was about 10:30 at night and your bag was full and you were going to make that walk home and you would walk far and you would have to walk back. And there were always the bigger kids waiting.
25-year-olds.
And they knew where you were and they watched you all night and they knew how hard you worked. And it was like you had to pay the toll. And you worked to fill that bag as much as you could, because when the ferrymen came to take their tax collection, you'd end up with about half the candy you took.
That's why I paid them early. Like, look, just come over here. You gonna take our shit anyway. Let's make it easier on the both of us. And you just take this part and you just watch to make sure that nothing else. Because the more candy I get, the more you get.
Yeah. But back in the day, if you didn't give up the candy and you tried to be strong, you would get your ass kicked. You would get shaving cream to high heaven. And when you get that foamy, when they take the pin and they'd stick it in there and they'd light it and melt that thing, that would shoot at a tremendous rate. So it went from a foamy shaving cream can to get the big foam in your hand to a laser. And that laser would hit your eye at a rapid rate and you would be blind for 4 days. Because they would use the menthol. And when that shit hit your eye, it was like trying to look at the sun. I'm not kidding. It was violent. And the eggs, you ever been hit with an egg at short range? Like not a boiled egg, like a fucking egg out of an egg carton? That shit hurt. That is a projectile. And when that thing makes impact and shatters, you feel that shit for a long time.
You had to catch me. That wasn't happening.
Well, I was much like now, I was not the fastest and fleetest of foot. So I wasn't running anywhere. I got robbed and beaten and fucked up, but you would still come home with some candy. And mom would always be like, son, you've been out for 5 hours and you don't have that much candy. What happened? I ate it, mom. Oh, okay. Well, you're going to get sick and I want to check it for razor blades. Now, you couldn't tell her that you got your ass kicked, because if mom knew you got your ass kicked, she would be out looking for those kids because she knew who they were. Because, you know, in our neighborhood, all the older kids, you know, everybody knew each other. So if you got beat up by some older kids, mom would go looking for their ass. So it was crazy times in trick-or-treat land. It's nothing like it is now. Not even close. Trunk or treat? What the fuck was that? We had trunks? What?
Oh, I got this one. Look, hey, bitches out here with the trunks. Look. I've been a part of some of these, and I'm so mad at all of you for having trunk or treat, because if I had known that, my network would have been so amazing. I could just go to a parking lot and just have 45 to 75 just assortments of candy where you could just like look, and then y'all could just move it and just go to another spot and just have another trunk or treat. Look. Y'all need to stop. Take your asses in the house and make it work. Make their asses work. Y'all can't just collectively just get in the fucking parking lot, park somewhere, and act like it's a mobile home ass state. No, just fucking make it work. Make them go across the street and go and get the stuff. No. Because
they get hit, they get hit.
They had one at a school. I was like, why are they here? Who the fuck? Why are y'all here? All the kids. Dude. I couldn't understand. I was like, I don't get it. They just all collectively just put, you know what? I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Dude, how about, and I told Steve this earlier, my daughter went on Snapchat and she complained about it snowing. And how would the poor little baby supposed to go trick-or-treating?
Put a fucking coat on.
See,
no.
I said, no, don't say that. I almost said it. I thought about it. And I said, don't say that. Don't say fuck that baby. Don't fucking do it. But it was close. It was very close.
Hey, man, and my grandbabies.
I know. And then I was like, I have to, sorry, grandbaby. I just, it was a reflex. And I said, no, don't say that.
Yeah, but Steve said it. So now Steve got one coming. But then she says, she's like, oh, well, I took pictures. I'm going to send them. I'm post them on Facebook. Okay. They are in a school trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
Don't know what school it was. And then they all got to sit down and watch some part of some movie. What the fuck are we doing in 2023, people? No, we was out there hustling. Let's just be honest. We was out there begging. And
hard.
Knock on your day. Please, hey, give us some candy, please. Thank you very much. All right, on to the next house. Like, this easy shit. That's why these damn kids are so fucking goddamn soft. Y'all motherfuckers make me goddamn tired. Understand? We grew up in hard times, rough fucking situations.
Oh, he's bringing out Dusty. He grew up in hard times.
We grew up when motherfuckers had to fight to keep your goddamn candy. You had to worry about dying.
Yeah. No joke. That is no shit.
First of all, my mama didn't buy no goddamn name brand candy. And that shit pissed me the fuck off. She bought full fucking candy from Brock's and all them pieces of candy that really didn't have no names on them. I wanted motherfucking Kit Kats. I wanted the Snickers. I wanted the Reese's Cups. I wanted the good shit. But no, her ass had to go get that fucking Brock shit. Yeah, I wanted the Kit Kat. But her ass wanted to go get that hard fucking candy that them old ladies got in their goddamn purse on Sundays. And I'm tired of that shit. I didn't need a whole fucking candy bag. Or I didn't even have a candy bag. I had a goddamn plastic ass pumpkin. That motherfucker couldn't hold shit. I didn't want that shit for the peppermints. I get that shit on Sunday. Oh,
Hey, this is a summary of Halloween now. Okay. Here are some milk duds right here. Okay. I just picked them up. I didn't work for them.
Nope.
They were already here waiting for me. It's like, here's the candy. That's just what it is now. I can choose not to eat them because I know or somewhere else. It's just how it is. I completely understand, sir. I completely understand. Whoever looks at this in the future, sorry. Not taking it back.
No,
this is the real stuff.
You don't know what trick or you think you know, but you ain't been where we've been. The 1 year that I wasn't going to let him have my candy, it was all because of my costume. I got to be the $6 million man. And I had my Steve Austin costume on. And I thought I could fly. So they came after the candy. And I said, nope, this is my candy. Man, they whipped the shit out of me. They whipped the shit. They ripped the costume. They ripped my fucking costume. I was devastated. That scarred me for years. I was far from bionic on that ass whipping, I'll tell you that. They couldn't put me back together again. There was no Oscar Goldman trying to help my ass out. I'll tell you that right now. Fucking OSI shit. I'm mad.
You're still mad.
I'm still mad. That fucking costume. I'd still have that shit. You ripped that shit. I know who you are. You're probably still alive. Probably. Took
Let's
my
not even
ripped my costume.
Let's not even get in the costumes. My mama, again, I had the demon. And then the one year I said I wanted to either be Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader. She buys me fucking Yoda. Like well, I'm already fucking short as shit, mama. I don't need to fucking be a character to play this shit. Like, come on, let me be somebody else. You know, had to be. I didn't like Superman. Everybody knew my hero growing up was Spider-Man. No, I couldn't get Spider-Man. I gotta get fucking Superman. What the fuck? Like, I don't want to fly over buildings. I want to crawl up them bitches. Like, can I ever get so now as an adult, I dress the fuck up who I want to dress the fuck up, and I am proud of it. Except for this year, because them damn bloomers was too goddamn big. Yeah, but I look good in the rest of the costume.
Goddamn look good, that's for sure. You know, we're talking about Halloween movies and things. Last night I paused the football game to turn on Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin. I've watched it every year my whole life. I will watch it until death. Doesn't matter where I am, doesn't matter what, the day or two before Halloween, day or two before Thanksgiving, day or two before Christmas. Charlie Brown is the holidays to me. Now, they make all sorts of new Charlie Browns and shit. Now, there's a whole series of them. They can have that shit. There are 3. Christmas, Thanksgiving, and Halloween. 3 cartoons. You can save Snoopy Come Home. You can save the Valentine shit. You can save Arbor Day, whatever. 3. There's only 3. And I thought Sally was going to shank him when she realized she missed tricks or treats to sit in that pumpkin patch. I didn't look at it for years that way, but last night I was watching it and she was mad. And I tried to picture my wife as Sally and me as Linus, and that shit don't work in 2023. That shit don't work. I love Michael Myers' movies. I've enjoyed all of them. My favorite Halloween movie was Halloween 2. It was the sequel to the original Halloween. I love that one. To me, that is the scariest shit out there. Because we saw what Michael Myers could do at the ass end of Halloween 1, and he got up after he got shot and fell off that balcony, got up, and Dr. Loomis is like, oh, fuck, what did I do? And then Halloween 2 picks up there, and it was Dr. Loomis trying to find him and kill him. And I just everything about Halloween 2 is great for me. There's a newer show that came out a few years ago that my family has really embraced, and we watch it every year. On Netflix, Adam Sandler has a one called Hubie Halloween. If you haven't seen it, I really, really encourage you to watch it because it really is a good feeling movie. If you like Adam Sandler's humor, it's very Adam Sandler-y, but it's a great watch. My favorite Halloween scary movie of all time is Fright Night. Red, you ever see Fright Night?
Yeah, but I mean, if we going more along that genres, I was a Tales from the Crypt kind of person.
I love the Tales, but Fright Night, not the fucking shit reboot that Colin Farrell tried to pull off about.
No.
Not that fucking piece of shit. That was a dumpster fire. I saw that shit. I was insulted. I almost walked out of that shit. It would only been the second movie I ever walked out in my life. The only movie I've ever walked out of is Independence Day. And Christian Rose and I have beef over that shit to this day. But that's neither here nor there. That original Fright Night from '86, Chris Sarandon is Jerry Dandridge, the vampire next door. Roddy McDowall is Peter Vincent, the vampire killer. William Ragsdale as Charlie. Amanda Bierce as the girlfriend. The cast and the writing and the scares and the humor, everything about that movie, I can watch it now and still enjoy it as much as I did when I saw it in the theater when it first came out. Hands down, my favorite scary movie. I also like Army of Darkness, Bruce Campbell and the Ash series. It was the third installment. It was Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness. I really enjoy Army of Darkness because it was such a campy farce that it was really Bruce Campbell's best version of Ash as kind of like a badass and kind of a misogynist and just a crazy human. It was really fun. Then there's the worst. Halloween fucking 3.
Well, that's because it had nothing to do with the entire franchise.
I have a Sally experience with Halloween 3. All right. Halloween 3 came out on Halloween.
Right. Like they try to every year.
And we wanted to see it bad. So we were willing to sacrifice some of our trick-or-treat time. PX, or is that you?
No, that's facts.
Pac-Man, get that shit off my screen. Pax, we're gonna have trouble, man. Get that shit out there. I want nothing.
You must have bought one of those masks.
I'm gonna tell you what. We gave up 2 hours of our Halloween time because the first showing of Halloween 3 was at 4 o'clock. So we didn't get home to start trick-or-treat until 6. We had already missed 2 hours. And Halloween was on a Saturday that year. So we missed 2 hours watching that shit. Masks melting the bugs. What the fuck does that even mean? How does that even happen? How does a mask turn your head into bugs? Explain that shit. It don't. It can't. It's dumb. Dumb as fucking shit. And it had nothing to do with the first 2 Halloweens. And I felt robbed as a young man. And it cheated me out of my tricks or treats, just like Sally in The Great Pumpkin. So, sister, get yours. Stay away from Halloween fucking 3. And people try to say, Steve, you got to watch it independently of the Halloween series. It's a good film. Fuck you and that tired ass bullshit. And you know what I say to you? Die Hard is a fucking Christmas movie. How about that? How about that?
Well, it is, but I'm never gonna say it's a good film. It is a independent film in an
independent piece of dog shit
in the franchise, and a lot of people don't get. So I'm particular.
Don't you try to explain this shit to me?
No,
Don't
I'm just saying I'm part of the last trilogy.
You
so
can
the
kiss
original
my whole ass. You can kiss my whole ass with that.
So I don't,
fuck her up, Buttercup.
I didn't like any of them, but now I'm back in love. I thought I used to be a Jason Voorhees person until I just realized that fuck Jason.
I really enjoyed Jason in Space. That was a really if you've never seen Jason in Space, check that out.
Jason on steroids. Jason got a complete overhaul.
Jason was on a space station many miles above the Earth in one, and that is some inspirational shit.
Here's my hope. Here's my thing, and then we can get off this up. But here's my thing. Jason has finally died. This motherfucker's dead. Tommy, let that shit go. But no, you and Arnold Horshack got to take y'all dumb asses to the fucking grave, bury this motherfucker. You know all that dirt you got to fucking get through to get to the goddamn coffin? That's some bullshit. Then you get to that motherfucker, and then you so strong, you can take a piece of the steel rod fence, rip that shit off, and you gonna pluck it in his fucking heart? Really? You gonna do that first? How about pour the gasoline on that motherfucker first, set that bitch on fire, and leave? That's what you came to do. But no, you want to sit there, put the steel pole in his goddamn chest, let the lightning hit it. Now this motherfucker back alive, and now we got to go through this shit about 7 more fucking goddamn times. He was dead, people. Fucking dead. Let this motherfucker stay dead. Goddamn. Then we got bullshit like Freddy versus Jason. Really? Them motherfuckers fought for 2 minutes. That's what we paid to see? No, it's called Freddy versus Jason, not Jason and Freddy team up to kill fucking Destiny's Child. Come on now. What the fuck? Like,
I did.
yeah.
Why'd you put up Event Horizon? Is that your favorite scary movie?
Yeah.
That's some good shit. I enjoyed that film.
And then let's not get talking about the motherfucker named Chucky. How's you scared of Chucky? Kick this little motherfucker. Kick his ass. If you kick him like a football, guess what? You got enough time to get away. But ain't nobody figured that shit out yet either. I'm supposed to believe that this motherfucker was in Chicago of all places. And this motherfucker casts a voodoo spell in the Toys R Us, supposedly. And the motherfucker puts his soul in a little doll. Man, first of all, that's why Chucky never came to the hood. Because Chucky would have got his ass whooped. I'm just saying.
A little white kid doll on a stabbing spree is not going to last very long.
Let's get to Rocket Pro, man, because I will tear up the horror genre.
I just don't understand. I mean, there are plenty of guns out there. Nobody shot that doll.
Nobody.
You get a big enough splatter pattern, you're going to break that doll apart. But that's I've never. Some people know this. My favorite though is Sleepaway Camp, because that fucked me up as a child. That fucked me up. The chick had a dick. Red.
I don't know where you want to go with this.
I'm not going. We're gonna segue right away from this into.
Hey, don't act like y'all never watched Sleepaway Camp. That's all.
We're gonna sleep away right into Rocket Pro Wrestling Harvest Havoc happening this Saturday in Joliet at St. Joe's Park.
Joliet.
One event we have, and we'll do our predictions real quick, and then we'll say goodnight to All Hallows Eve. Well, we've got the Rocket to the Top match. I think that's one of the high water points of this particular show. The undeniable Devin August, the undeniable Eric Schultz, taking on Gunner Brave in a triple threat ladder match. Rocket to the Top. The opportunity will be waiting for somebody to claim. I don't care how stacked the deck is against Gunner Brave here. I don't care what Damian Saint thinks is going to happen in this match. What is it you say often? Ego and pride.
I say a lot of stuff.
Ego and pride. And those are things that are going to happen in this match that are going to make Schultz and August want to win the Rocket to the Top match. It's inevitable. You can be friends, but when it's everybody for themselves to win a shot at the richest prize in the game, you have no friends. There is no teamwork. So I think in that moment, Gunner Brave has the advantage. So I pick Gunner Brave to be the Rocket to the Top ladder match victor, and he'll get his shot when he's ready to take his shot. Red?
Gunner.
Rion. Rion doesn't care.
No, it's not that I don't care. I'm just, for the sake of argument, I'm going to say Gunner.
Okay. PX, what do you think?
I'm going to say Gunner's going to overcome the odds here.
And I know you are Job.
I am Job. AF.
Some very interesting matchups occur this particular Saturday. I'm very interested in all of them. All of them have very intricate storylines. Brooks Berna of the Coyotes taking on Bucky Collins. You've got Bucky Collins, the man that essentially drove Christian Rose mad to the point where now the Coyotes are at odds. You don't think Berna wants a piece of that ass? I think Brooks Berna is going to win this match, and he's going to make Bucky Collins pay for his sins. Red, what say you?
I'm picking Bucky. Here's why. If Bucky can make Christian Rhodes lose his shit, and he's the strongest Coyote, what do you think he's going to do to Burke? He's going to make him go crazy in the ring, just long enough where he makes a mistake and Bucky takes advantage of it.
Problem with that theory is Burt is already crazy. Bucky can't.
And again, who's to say Christian won't come out and try to, this is my personal theory, come out and try to make amends, right? With Burner, and he attacks Bucky. Well, who wins the match? Bucky wins.
Fair. Brian, what say you?
It's a toss up.
Toss up.
Nuts.
They're both nuts. That's a fair. It's a draw. It's a draw. PX, where do you go with this?
I think it's going to be Bucky because, I agree with Red here. If what happened with Christian Rose happened at Kicks on 66 when he went to go up against Bucky, there's a lot of stuff on Burner's mind. Losing the tag team titles. What happened at Kicks on 66? Is he going to be focused? And I think Bucky's got the momentum here because he's gotten all of TDC rather unfocused.
We will find out. A match that I'm interested to see because one of the combatants I've never seen before, and I'm looking forward to it, is the Chicago Bear Hug, Steve Michaels taking on the one-man dynasty, Darius Luttrell. Now, Michaels I know very well, Chicago Connection member. He is undeniable now. One-man dynasty I've never seen before. So I don't know what happens here. I know Michaels is one tough SOB, and he's got the backing of the offices of Damian Saint, the Undeniable. So I don't know who wins this match. Red, help me.
I'm like you. By me never seeing the latter gentleman ever. But I hear he's 6'10". So I mean, by me not being able to see his, and I'm sure if I really did some research, I could find out. But since we're going off the top of our domes, I'm just gonna be honest and say I don't know. I do think though, Michaels, he's lost his focus. He took an L last month thanks to the 3 rings, and he's not looking as dominant as he usually is. So, that could factor in as well. So, but again, I don't know the other gentleman as well enough to say, hey, he's going to beat Michaels. So, I don't know.
What about you? Do you know?
As far as the other gentlemen, yes. Very athletic for his size, but I don't think it's going to matter because of what's happening with Bear Hug. He, like he said, he took an L on against the rings, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be upset. So for the sake of argument, I'm going to go with Mr. Michaels.
PX?
I have also seen Darius Luttrell several occasions. Like Rian said, he's very athletic for his size. He has a presence, and he's athletic. And I mean, at the end of the day, realistically, Damian Saint's going to be the deciding X factor in this match. So no matter what other factors that Luttrell is going to bring to the table, I think the general manager being in the corner of Steve Michaels is going to be the thing that makes all the difference here.
Potentially true. And my vote for match of the night might just be the Outer Limits Championship. You've got champion Connor Hopkins taking on Quinn Whittick, taking on the undeniable, no pun intended, Nick Diamond. You've got 3 men that can go all night and then go a little longer. Hopkins has worked his ass off for that championship, and he will have to be killed in order to be stripped. Whittick, still salty about how he lost his title to Damian, or not to Damian, but to Aaron Stone. Something to prove here, would like to have another title at Rocket Pro. And then you've got Nick Diamond, who thinks he's God's gift to wrestling. This is a combustible match that could be phenomenal. When I look at it, I will never pick against Quinn Whittick because he's too damn good. I feel Whittick becomes the Outer Limits champion?
Well, for the first time tonight, maybe I think we agree. Conor, his head isn't there. Again, think about everything that's transpired for the past few months. And again, you've got to throw in, Christian saying he's sorry, but again, he still costs everybody their match. Nick Diamond, we all know who he is. He's an asshole. But I honestly don't see him being able to keep up with Quinn or Conor. That's just being honest. And we know Quinn don't give two shits. He will put his body through hell and back. He is a walking horror story. Fuck that. So I'm also taking Quinn for the new title.
Mr. Skills?
Diamond.
Rion picking Nick Diamond, Impact superstar. That's fantastic. What about you, Pac?
I think it's gonna be Conor. I mean, even with everything going on, at least one of the Coyotes has got to, hold down the fort. And, Quinn is a fantastic competitor. I mean, thinking about it, I could see either one of them winning, but in my mind, Conor edges him out because he's going to be the Coyote that's going to want to try to, with everything else going on, try to keep this ship running afloat.
Potentially, it's got all the ingredients to be match of the night. Chris Logan, the Shogun, taking on the arrival of Hardcore Impact's Paulie Tomaselli. This is a very interesting matchup because you are essentially setting the table for what could come next. Do I want to see Final Level take on Hardcore Impact? You goddamn right I do. But I will be all over this. You have two bona fide in-ring superstars that have legacy behind them. But as much as I love Paulie Tomaselli and respect the hell out of what he does, Joliet is Logan's house, and Logan defends his house. Red?
Again, as you said, could this be a preview of things to come? I would pay money to see that particular match. But again, for the second time, we're gonna agree. And not so much as because Joliet is Shogun's house. Shogun has been on a roll and he's got momentum behind his side, even though he took a L last month. But we know why. But again, plus I think he has something to prove to Tomaselli. I think he wants to prove that he is not that young kid in the business anymore, that he can hold his own. So I am picking Shogun.
Mr. Skills?
Same.
Pac-Man.
I agree with everybody. I think it is going to come down to Shogun.
All right, moving on. In the Battle of Fortnite and all things supernatural, Maximus Orion takes on the Ryan Matthews.
Man, please. Matthews is gonna get his ass whooped from pillar to post. I can't believe this match is really happening over a fucking game of Fortnite. I really don't believe this shit. Like, if any match could be more childish, it is this match, and it's not on Maximus. It is on Ryan just being a little bitch. So I pray to God that he beats the shit out of Ryan and beats the shit out of Schultz for putting me through thinking one of my idols was at fucking. I just pray to God he beats his ass. Beats him. I put him in the Hell's Gate. Make his ass tap out to shit.
I'll tell you what, that is some of my I will watch that sequence over and over again because that might be one of my favorite moments in history on commentary. I got to be both JR and Jerry the King simultaneously. So I will never not love that, even though the shenanigans of Eric Schultz pulling the wool over everybody's eyes was bad. It was still one of those moments in Joliet that you just can't put a price tag on. What say you? You have some experience here.
Yeah. Gonna end up being Ryan Matthews. Maximus hasn't learned anything yet.
Maximus hasn't learned anything, and plus Ryan Matthews still has the undeniable in his back pocket, and that will probably figure prominently as Damian Saint seems to want to make Maximus suffer. Pac-Man?
So I actually talked to Maximus about this. After Ryan Matthews decided to come to his house and beat him down in the middle of one of his Sling Play Twitch streams. And, Maximus is very, very fired up about this. I mean, it was just a complete ambush as he's doing something that he enjoys and all of this is over a game, which in the grand scheme of things, to be mad over a game is not that important. And Maximus seems very focused to want to whoop Ryan's ass over this. So I'm going to go with Maximus.
That's fair. Aaron Stone has issued an open challenge. I have no idea who is going to accept said open challenge. But why not, right?
You sure it ain't you?
No, it's definitely not me. Definitely
Oh,
not.
okay.
Yeah, I have my fill of open challenges on Sunday. I don't know. I don't want that smoke anymore. I'm good. Coyote versus Coyote submission match. So you've got Christian Rose in his state taking on the technical Coyote, Damian Deschain, in a submission match. Certainly a match that would favor Deschain because he is a specialist. But what Red has been saying for months is Rose is not right in the head. I find that Rose probably wins this match. I don't know if Deschain is ready for the deviousness that inhabits the mind of Christian Rose, but I guess we'll find out on Saturday. Red?
We agree again. But let me throw this in there. The teacher doesn't always necessarily teach the student everything.
That's fair.
I believe we already know, and I can say it. I ain't scared to say it. Christian ain't all there. And I believe that is going to play a part to the point where, guess what? He pulls out something to the point where he makes Deschain submit. I think this match draws a further wedge in the Coyotes. I really do.
Mr. Skills?
It's going to be a toss-up. What if no one gives up?
Ooh.
You live by a code. What if no one decides to give up? How does that work? It's a toss-up.
Toss-up again. Pac-Man, your thoughts?
I mean, again, this is a real tough match to call. I think, on one hand, it's like, you said before, it's the teacher versus the student. And these are two people that are really, really thrown off of their game with everything that's been going on with TDC. So I guess it's going to come down to, at the end, between Deschain and Rose, which one of them is more focused on the here and now and focused on making the other person submit.
You're probably right.
So it's a toss-up for me, too.
Toss-ups. Okay, that brings us to our final announced match of this event, Harvest Havoc. And it is for the Inter-County Championship. And it is Joseph Von Jager taking on the real deal, Rion skills? Red, why don't you start this one?
Easy skills. Not because he is on here. I picked Jaeger to win the match last month, but I don't think. No, I know he's not smart enough to outsmart Rion skills. Rion has proven these past few months over time holding that title. He's one of the dirtiest players out there. And he's not ready. You know, he it's not like, you know, he beat Rion before and he gets a title shot this time. You know, it was the luck of the draw. He just happened to win. That's great. I don't think him or a lot of people in that locker room are ready for this Rion skills.
Sir, what say you on your match?
Well, I think Jaeger.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why.
Because of him being young and athletic and energetic and ready to fight, and I don't have that type of tank. So I'm almost guaranteeing that he will win the match. Because I am tired. And I have no problem just saying, look, here's the belt. And you can casually go on about your day. So I don't feel like I've done it before. Just, here's the belt, you're good. Go from there. But see, it's so weird because I know I'm supposed to be like doing this thing because we're talking about Rocket Pro to say this to the end and everything else, but it's one of those deals where I have to just kind of just have an honest opinion on certain things because I know now we're in gimmick territory. But I'm being very serious. Ron Jaeger. I'm on the downslope, and people don't think that's a thing. I'm on a downslope of things, and he's trying to win. I'm trying to end fights, and he will win.
Pac-Man, what do you say?
I mean, Rion, I have to disagree with you. I think you, and I'm not saying this again, like Red said, because you're on here, but you know, when we think back to after the match, when you went to the ring, you handed Von Jaeger the Intercounty Championship, and then you kicked him. I mean, in a way that highlights his inexperience at this stage.
I just
that
one-eyed and bushy-tailed. It's no different than you trying to go out and try to take on the world when you're trying to deal with the idols and thinking that everyone's just going to be on your side because you have friends. One thing I've learned about wrestling is not everyone is your friend. It's just happenstance. He'll be fine. I feel like he'll be able to do his thing and be victorious.
But I mean, you do have the experience, Rion. And I mean, I think that's what's coming into my head is I'm thinking you're going to pull out the victory here and end the fight.
Yeah, I don't have to win in the fight.
That is true.
I mean, we can keep talking happenstance if you want, but I'm telling you what's going to happen. You can choose not to listen to me if you want. Von Jaeger is going to win. And simply because he wants it more than I do, because I don't care. I'm telling you, he's going to win the match. That he is going to win because he has all the heart and desire and everything that he needs to come in, just like you, Pax. You have that too. The only difference is he's going in there and fighting. I kind of hope that you get in there and start fighting some idols myself. But I know that that's not going to be a thing because that's not your deal. But That I think about it this way. He's fighting for you. You don't want someone to be that guy to represent someone like a turtle. Now that turtle's gone from IPW, you don't want someone to fight for the little guy, so to speak.
I mean, I don't know. With that situation, I think, all in all, I just want Damian Saint to do something about it. Because, I mean, like I said on JFW, the fact that he's blamed me for everything that's happened when that's clearly not been the case,
Hmm.
a lot of it was unprovoked. I have to admit, Turtle brought up a point. I can't instigate, but at the same time, I'm a wrestling fan sitting in the stands.
Hmm.
I'm starting chants. I'm heckling the guys I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Just like what other wrestling fans do. And for that, I got thrown in the ring. I got put in a full Nelson by Joey Roth,
Mm-hmm.
and he held me as I watched C-Red get beat down.
Right.
And, you don't really hear much about what Saint is going to do. I mean, he says that there could be a response on Saturday, but, I have to be a little skeptical about it, to be honest with you, because he hasn't responded yet.
So I am going to drop a lot of information on you in a short amount of time because I know we're still talking about me in quotation marks, but we're also talking about what's going on with you and Saint and idols and everything else. I'm going to drop a scenario to you and you tell me your honest opinion, or don't say anything at all. It's a matter of opinion.
Okay.
Damian Saint has continuously sat here and said that he had, how many, there's been 12?
We're heading into 12.
Okay,
We just
12.
this will be 12.
There's will be 12 sold out shows if it works out accordingly. And this is
Right.
this is just the scenario. Take the idols out of it, because I'm just putting this in perspective for you, and then you can hopefully see what I see. Damian Saint has been about money the entire time that he's been able to go in here. What if, with him getting a cut of everything that takes place with these sellouts, what if he puts that away and he starts buying a roster? What if he decides that he can present himself in a scenario to where he doesn't have to beat anyone, he just needs to buy someone? Does it matter who's in charge? Does it matter if the fans have a say in anything? Does it matter if someone like a Pac-Man says something on 3 different podcasts? If he could just buy out what's happening in front of him? Is that a thing that you want to like consider? Because I mean, I know the idols are like a massive thing as far as being like bullies and everything else, but if this man continue, like there has to be a reason why he continuously like says there's sellouts. He does get a cut of these things. Like he's not just saying it and not getting anything of the sort. Meanwhile, the undeniable are continuously growing in front of you, and no one even knows who's one. There's literally a guy that walked in with the nickname Undeniable, like on the show. And I understand that you're dealing with stuff as far as the heckling and things, but this is, what if, and this is just a random thought, what if someone like yourself, being a fan, is causing so much chaos that you don't even see that this is a thing that's taking place? What if all of these things are happening in front of someone like Maximus, and he doesn't even understand when someone tells him very early on, they're going to take your company away from you before you even realize what happens? What if someone like Von Jaeger, who's very, very innocent, walks into this type of scenario? Would you rather him have his eyes opened, or would you rather him just, become a victim, which is why I say Von Jaeger will win the match. I just circled it back around. But what do you think as far as that scenario, sir? Or do you have anything to say about that? I know I just dropped a bunch of random information. Because I could have just, oh, I'm sorry, because I didn't put it as a question. That's on me. I'm bad. But do you have anything to say about that? Or do you, or you want to just save that for JFW? Because I'm fine with that too. It's just.
I mean, I will say this, you know, because I remember that was the biggest thing with you and Maximus was there's a lot of weird stuff going on at Rocket Pro. And I've paid more attention after that was pointed out. And, you know, I definitely noticed things are definitely odd at points, especially with a lot of the things you've mentioned and a lot of the weird things that have happened since, you know, Kicks on 66 a couple of years ago when the Idols took over, but eventually gave that power up to Damian Saint and eventually lost that power themselves. So, I mean, I've certainly noticed it to a degree. I probably haven't noticed it in full because, you know, I'm a little green in the gills. I don't know, you know, certain aspects of this business as well as, you know, you all do. So I'm sure there's a lot of other things that you guys notice that at Rocket Pro that I don't notice. You know, so I mean, I definitely noticed that there are things out of the ordinary happening.
Okay.
So
that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So I can go back and forth with you about this all day. I'm gonna help you and say that maybe we should let Steve wrap this up, or at least wrap this portion of Rocket Pro. Because I've talked more than I needed to talk about anything on this show. Especially when it comes to the Von Jaeger match. I've already said that he's going to win. And I would give him my thoughts about Damian Saint, only because you brought him up. Or Steve, one of you brought it, doesn't matter. But the fact that his name came up, got that part out the way. Is there anything else that you need to drop?
I'm just gonna we're gonna be done with the whole thing here in a second. Von Jaeger versus Rion Skills. JVJ, younger, faster, more energy for sure. The match has to be fought. And matches go through many different scenarios in their 8 to 10, shall we say. Rion is in this match and he's picking Von Jaeger. So I think we should all listen to that and take it at face value. The one thing that could cost Von Jaeger this match is if the switch gets flipped. That's the only thing that Von Jaeger has to worry about, in my opinion. Don't flip the switch. But do show up at Rocket Pro Wrestling this Saturday for Harvest Havoc. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a 12th sellout. It's going to be an incredible card. You're going to see incredible things. We're blessed with opportunity, and it will be no different this Saturday. Come to St. Joe's Park in Joliet. Doors at 4, showtime at 5. It will be special. No doubt about it. I want to thank everybody for their Halloween memories today, because we have done many a power hour, and talking about Halloween's past has been my favorite thing we've ever done. I haven't laughed that hard in a long time. You made a really bad day a lot better. So thank you for that. Next week on this show, we add a little bit of gasoline to the fire to see what happens. Hot on the heels of Harvest Havoc, our guests next week will be the Fabulous Idols. What could possibly go wrong? We'll see you next Tuesday on this show. Thank you for joining us for the Halloween Power Hour. I thought we were going to be out of here in an hour and a half. I was dead wrong yet again. Red laughed at me openly in the chat. He was right. I was wrong. Happy Halloween, y'all. We'll see you next week. Don't miss Rocket Pro Wrestling. For Rion, for Red, for Pac-Man, I'm Steve, for Rachel. We'll see you next week on the Power Hour. Good night.